How to lower blood sugar? This would seem to be a rhetorical question. Or is that not a rhetorical question? Are you asking me? So I answer. Take notes. To lower glucose levels, you need to eat 6 meals a day and 2 snacks.
7 plus przekąska. 2 przekąski. Czyli wychodzi 8.
You have to eat every 3 hours. Then the metabolism stays at the same level. You need to provide your body with food regularly at regular intervals. Then the glucose level will stay high. Oh, but we want to lower glucose levels. I was wrong. Are you kidding me? But seriously. After all, those are the recommendations. These recommendations do not lead to lower glucose levels. These recommendations lead to an increase in glucose levels. Let's start from scratch. Where does blood glucose come from? From space? Of weak will? From food? Of course, glucose comes from food. Many people would like to convince you that your blood glucose is the result of your weak will. In this video, we'll show you how to lower your glucose levels.
W jaki sposób jedzeniem obniżać sobie poziom glukozy?
We will tell you how to lower your glucose level if you have type 2 diabetes or prediabetes.
Bądź stan przedcukrzycowy, trzeba.
You have to start with knowledge. The basis of our activity is knowledge and education. The more you know, the more knowledge you can apply in your life. And you live longer. You take less medications. Then those people who produce drugs lose their jobs. And that's how it all goes. But you can also live beautifully without work.
Można było przecież troszkę zaoszczędzić, na pewno pracując w tej czy innej firmie. Zobaczcie, jeżeli
at the root of type 2 diabetes or prediabetes is insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is caused by an overdose of carbohydrates, especially processed carbohydrates. Insulin resistance comes from eating too many carbohydrates frequently. This causes the tissues to become resistant to insulin. As a result, there is too much insulin and too much glucose that should be getting into the tissues. The root of the problem is attention. Food. So what do we need to do to reverse this process? You weren't listening, were you? We must eat often. What we really need to do is lower our insulin and glucose levels. Thanks to this, insulin resistance will begin to retreat. We need to reduce the amount of glucose in our food. This can be done with one simple tool. I would like to add something.
Obniżamy insulinę i obniżamy ilość glukozy w jedzeniu. Można to zrobić jednym prostym narzędziem, bo ty mówisz o jak.
You say how to lower glucose with food.
Teraz fajne jest to, żebyście wyciągnęli.
You have to learn from this movie.
Jakie chcecie tak naprawdę, ale te wnioski.
And the conclusions speak for themselves.
Glukoza jest tylko objawem.
High glucose is just a symptom. To lower your glucose, you need to eat things that lower your insulin. When you put food in your mouth, think about what that food does to insulin. You already know that carbohydrates are the macronutrient that causes the greatest increase in insulin. To lower blood glucose levels, you need to eat as few carbohydrates as possible. This is it. To sum up, we eat less carbohydrates. It is a low-carb lifestyle. This can be a keto style where we cut carbs below 50 grams.
Oczywiście,
But an important
keto,
note.
czyli obniżamy też, obniżając węglowodany poniżej 50.
If you are starting a low carb or keto diet while on diabetes medications, you must stay under medical supervision.
Niskowęglowodanowy czy keto, stosując leki na cukrzycę, to musi być on nadzorowany przez lekarza, dlatego że
At some point, it will be necessary to reduce or stop the medication. Some medications need to be discontinued at the very beginning.
Już na samym początku, przed wejściem w ten styl.
This means that the low carb style is good because it withdraws drugs that have side effects.
Dobrym, bo odstawia leki, które mają objawy uboczne.
And in most cases, these drugs are ineffective.
Na to, żebyś wyzdrowiał.
There is no effective medicine for regaining metabolic health.
Jedzonka na jedzonka.
You need to start eating healthy and low carb.
Nie ogarniesz emocji.
You have to take care of your emotions.
Na tym kanale to nie ma takiej możliwości.
In this channel, we will give you the knowledge how to do it.
Za twoje życie i
There is no way that some medicine is responsible for your life and change of emotions.
kolejny element obniżania glukozy.
Another element of lowering glucose levels is healthy not eating.
Glukoza, no to musimy włączyć
It is a lengthening of the interval between the last and the first meal.
przerwy między ostatnim a pierwszym posiłkiem.
This gives the body time to lower insulin levels.
Komórką czas, żeby była niska insulina, czyli żeby ta insulina w ogóle opadła na tyle.
The body gets a clear signal to open the insulin receptors. Insulin, yes, sir.
Nas tak dużo. Insulina. Insulina. Tak jest. Insulina.
We call it healthy not eating 16 out of 8. You don't eat for 16 hours a day.
Nie jemy, tylko pijemy.
You can drink tea, black coffee, or water.
Czarną i
Within 8 hours, you can eat.
niegazowaną.
You can eat according to the principles of low carbohydrate eating.
Węglowodanowego, czyli MOBR.
This is in line with the 7 points of our weight loss method.
Metodę odchudzania braci. No bo to jest przecież proste. Skoro
It's simple.
większość osób choruje metabolicznie,
Most people are metabolically ill.
insulinooporność,
In their case,
czyli ta insulina nawet na czczo jest
the level of insulin is elevated even on an empty stomach.
Tamci każą ci jeść.
And the recommendations are that you need to eat right after waking
No
up.
to zobacz na logikę, a jeszcze
Recommendations are that you need to eat oatmeal or whole grain bread in the morning so that insulin level will go up even more.
podwyższoną.
Because of this, you are in fat storage mode all the time.
Jeść, no to ta insulina jeszcze się podbija do góry. Wobec tego cały czas jesteś w trybie magazynowania tkanki tłuszczowej.
The energy you provide your body with is stored all the time.
A jeszcze oni każą ci
The recommendations say you have to eat every 3 hours.
tą insulinę masz cały czas podwyższoną.
So the insulin level is all the time elevated.
Stosować chociażby tego prostego
He will never fall.
Wydłużaj
To lower the level of insulin, you can extend the interval between meals.
takim, że ostatni posiłek
Eat 8 hours a day. Do not eat from morning to evening.
nie 18 albo
You can eat
20,
everything you've eaten so far.
do wieczora. Jedz nawet wszystko to, co jadłaś do tej pory, ale skróć to jedzonko do 8
But eat only 8 hours a day.
Od 11 do
Start eating, for example,
15, 16,
from 11 to 7 p.m.
Od 11 do 19 jesz jedzonko, potem pijesz
Then just drink lots of water, coffee, and tea. This is an easy way to lower your blood glucose levels.
poziom glukozy we krwi. Oczywiście, nie zapominajcie.
Don't forget vitamin D,
która jest niezbędna do całych procesów,
which is essential for lipolysis and metabolic recovery.
Nie zapominajcie o magnezie,
Do not forget about magnesium,
naprawdę dobrym
which must be at the right level. It often needs to be supplemented additionally.
pokoje. Poziom glukozy.
I also want to reassure you, your glucose level won't drop to -10 even if you don't eat for 24 hours.
24 godziny. No przecież zdarza się tak.
We happen to be
Mamy
sick.
chorobę jakąś, tak? No infekcję.
We have an infection.
Czy różną infekcję wirusową typu grypa.
Then the body does not demand food.
Domaga się jedzenia. No
We
nie
don't
wiemy,
eat
bo
because we vomit or have diarrhea.
Wtedy no to co robimy? Pijemy, tak, oczywiście.
We only drink. And then what?
Wtedy ma poziom
Glucose levels do not drop drastically.
W tym momencie twój organizm wytwarza glukozę z czego?
The body gets its energy from triglycerides, sometimes from amino acids.
Ale przede wszystkim prawdopodobnie wytwarza
The body produces ketone bodies,
nośnik i źródło energii i to jest niesamowite.
which are an energy carrier, and it's amazing.
Obserwacja jeszcze w czasach Hipokratesa.
This was already the case in the time of Hippocrates.
Padaczkę czym?
What was the treatment for epilepsy then? Hunger and prayer. There were two things that worked for this disease. Later, it was realized that fasting can be replaced by eating without carbohydrates. Thus, the keto diet was born. We wish you a long and beautiful life. Nice to have you here, independent thinking community. More and more of you are coming on board. Welcome. You will gain independent food knowledge here. You will find out how complicated and strange the education system on nutrition and treatment of metabolic diseases is. You ask us a question. How to start? Start here on our channel. The knowledge here is available for free. Based on this knowledge, you can change your life. If you need more information, check out the description of the video. Thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. Then soulless YouTube algorithms will forward this video. There are more and more of us. We will live longer.